Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso gained independence in the year 1960, but then the name was the Republic of Upper Volta. That was the name they used to call them during the independence era. By 1984, the name changed from Republic of Upper Volta to Burkina Faso. So during this period, they were calling them the Republic of Upper Volta, but in 1984, the name changed to Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso has been going through a lot of poverty since they gained independence, which has made a lot of citizens of Burkina Faso become stranded, which shouldn't be so, because in Africa, why should you travel to other African countries to gain greener pastures? Because of poverty and how they suffer to live in the country. Most residents have come to Burkina Faso and done their part, but they were not able to develop the country. Since they gained independence, the European Union have not left them to be on their own. They have been on Burkina Faso to support them in all aspects of development, but milking Burkina Faso. So because of that, the people of Burkina Faso were not happy. They were still struggling, traveling to other countries to make ends meet, but still they were not able to make it. This young man, who is just 37 years old, born on 4th March 1988, became a man who is a captain in the military of Burkina Faso. He saw everything happen because he has been in the country growing up, suffering on all the situations surrounding them. He saw everything and he said, no, I have to stand up and save my country. If not, what we are heading towards will be bad than what we are suffering now. So on this date, which is 30th September 2022, he stood up and raised concern of their sufferings. So all the people in the military and the citizens supported him and set a coup to dethrone then president, who was not doing anything better to save the country. But because of the support the military and other people in the country gave him, he was able to succeed the coup. And this young man, since he took over, he has been doing tremendous work for the country, which is unprecedented, because when you go to most African countries, you will never see such development going on in those countries. Example is Ghana. You see none of these activities going on. Most of the African countries surrounding Burkina Faso are envious of Ibrahim Traore, who is a young captain in the military of Burkina Faso. He is doing unprecedented work. When you think about it, like, you don't understand, a young guy of his age with that kind of mission to achieve and develop a nation is not easy. But this guy has been able to achieve this. Since he took over, he has been developing the country from day one till now. And when you sit back and look at how the guy is developing the country, if not the guy, I never knew a country in Africa could purchase their own machinery, train their own citizens. We have engineers. If you go to a lot of universities across Africa, we have our own engineers being trained here. But after completion, you see them nowhere to make any impact to the country. But this man used the engineers in Burkina Faso and other people who are able to manipulate and manage the affairs of construction. He had been able to bring them together, buy machines, over 900 excavators and other machines to construct 5,000 kilometers road annually. And this has never happened in any African country before. Within a year, 5,000 kilometers is not an easy task. But this man has made it happening. And you can never stop him. I never knew they can purchase their own machines. But when you go to other African countries, you see that always they bring the Chinese, Europeans, and other people to take the construction contracts. Always when you go to construction sites, you see Chinese and other countries personnel who are there working to construct roads. But Burkina Faso did not do that. They trained their own people to achieve this. If you go to some African countries, you see that their road contracts are given to foreigners. But Burkina Faso never did that. They trained their own people, purchased their own machines, and getting this work done. Not only that, they have been able to construct football pitch which will host world tournaments, African tournaments, and others. But when you see what other African countries are doing, because they are underdeveloped, but Burkina Faso has constructed this modernized football pitch to host these tournaments. So they drawn the attention of other federations that they could host tournaments in Burkina Faso. Most African countries do not have their own airlines, but Burkina Faso has made it happen. They have Air Burkina. So now if you are traveling across the world, you can book your airline through Air Burkina's portal. They have Air Burkina. You know, Ghana, they were having Ghana Airways, but it doesn't exist now. But Burkina Faso is having Air Burkina, which is in operation. So you can book them anytime you are traveling around the world or anywhere within Africa. So you cannot develop Burkina Faso without involving agriculture. Burkina Faso has been supplying most of the African countries around their territories with tomatoes, onions, and other vegetables. Because of that, when Ibrahim Traore took over, he has made purchase of a lot of machineries for agriculture, tractors, flowers, and other agriculture tools, motors to assist farmers to produce more or huge yield of products so that they could be able to supply other countries and raise revenue to develop Burkina Faso. You know, because the ways he used to take over Burkina Faso is through coup d'etat, he has to protect himself. So he procured military machines so that he will be protected. So he procured guns, bullets, military armors, and other machines which they could use to protect Burkina Faso and himself. So now if you go to Burkina Faso, their protection is on another level. Their military is always active. Even some of the citizens are on the street protecting the country because they want their current leader to be protected. You know, most of the countries who were colonizing Burkina Faso are still annoyed because they were gaining much from Burkina Faso, and since Ibrahim Traore took over, they have cancelled every ties they have with French and other European countries. So now US has drawn their attention to Burkina Faso because they have seen that the guy is doing much for the country. No, Burkina Faso, they have gold and other minerals. But since Ibrahim Traore took over, he has taken everything. They now mine their own gold and keep it. They have their reserve. If you go to their reserve, the gold they have and other minerals, you see that they are on track and they want to achieve something. Due to that, US came into the scene, and their military leader, who was having an interview with their leaders, made it known that Ibrahim Traore is using their gold to protect himself because he's not allowing other European countries, USA and other countries to mine in the country. But when this US military leader made this utterances, the Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso also came out and gave it harshly to him, because you cannot be there and say anything you like against him, which you have no idea. Because an African, a young man trying to develop his country, and you find it difficult to accept it, then he has to be angry and reply this military leader so that they won't get the chance to dethrone him. He raised a lot of concerns about how even they killed Gaddafi in Libya, and how they even used his own citizens to kill him, and this has made him be aware and conscious of everything he is doing. So he is very conscious and making everything work in the country.
Tarnish your morale. It's to scare you, to prevent you from being able to fight. No. Moreover, we are going to file a complaint against this NGO, because people need to understand something. What is happening to us here? It's true that they have manipulated part of our populations in the Sahel here, but they didn't have that kind of weaponry. What brought such significant weaponry into their ranks? It's Libya. Who destroyed Libya? It's this NGO, the same NGO that made false reports and gave them to those who wanted to create a rebellion so that people would intervene and overthrow Gaddafi. And the powder keg ended up being poured into the Sahel. These millions of lives that have been taken in the Sahel.
You know, Burkina Faso is an alliance with other military leaders in other African countries, Niger and Mali. These three African countries have come together to work and achieve a common aim. They have joined Russia so that they could gain some form of protection and support from them. You know, they have different divisions in the world. Russia is on its own, and now Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have united and joined Russia. They have come out with their own passport. You know, previously Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali, they were all part of ECOWAS, but they exited from ECOWAS because they saw that ECOWAS is not doing what they are supposed to do. To fight for Africans, to liberate Africa is not happening, and they think liberation could come through these African countries. And if they come together, they could do a lot of things and achieve what the world do not think of. But ECOWAS is not getting it done. They think ECOWAS is influenced by European countries and USA. Due to that, they have exited from ECOWAS. And now they are Sahel countries, the alliance of Sahel countries. And they have come out with their own passport, that you can use this passport to travel to these three African countries without a visa. You will not pay any amount to any immigration officer or any of the countries when you are holding their passport. They have this passport designed for the three African countries, which is Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. So if you have this passport, it will help you to travel across these countries freely. Because of the poverty rate in Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore decided to construct affordable housing, which they will not pay dime for it. So he constructed these homes so that he will be able to accommodate those Burkinabés who are on the street and who don't have a place to lay their heads. He has made a huge construction to host all these Burkinabés so that they will not be stranded, they will not suffer, so that the poverty which has affected them will not drain them and kill them before their time. So he has made this huge construction so that they will be accommodated, fed, and protected in the country. Since Ibrahim Traore took over, most countries have started making demands to dethrone him. They want to set another coup to kill this young guy because they think he is blocking their chances of the minerals and other resources in the country they always gain from. They are now bound to come to Burkina Faso and get these minerals. People have been setting up coup against this guy. They want to kill him, assassination and a lot of things going on in the country. So because of that, most people around the world stood and rallied to support this Ibrahim Traore because they want him protected. They see that his vision for Burkina Faso could make Burkina Faso be somehow closer to other countries, develop, and people visit all the time. So if you go to UK, the citizens and even most of the Africans in the United Kingdom demonstrated and they made it known to the world that they should leave Ibrahim Traore alone because the young man is doing best for the country and there is no way he's doing something the citizens don't like. So why should we think the citizens are not in support of what he's doing? So we want to go and dethrone him, we want to go and kill him. You go to South Africa, they did the same demonstration. If you go to Burkina Faso, UK, France, and most European countries, they demonstrated to support Ibrahim Traore because they want him to reign forever, so, and make Burkina Faso achieve a lot within the years of his tenure. Is it good to be independent? Is it good to be democratic? Because if you look at what democracy has done to a lot of African countries, you see that they are not developing, always retrogressing. They depend solely on United States of America, France, and other countries. They always go for IMF support, they go for loans, and they go, like you see that they are not doing anything good for themselves. But since this guy Ibrahim Traore took over, he has made this happen. He has not go. He even rejected IMF support. He's doing everything by himself. He's raising funds within Burkina Faso. He does not go for loan. But if you look at African countries who are democratic, they go for loan. Everything they depend solely on other European countries. And their millions have been taken over by European countries, China, France, USA. And this has affected them. They are not developing. All the time you see that there will be change of government, still the same thing will continue happening. But this Ibrahim Traore has made it happening. He never gone for loan, rejected IMF support. He's doing everything by himself. And this guy need to be protected. We pray that the good Lord protects him and give him good life, give him strength so that he'll be able to build Burkina Faso. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share my videos. Thank you.